EastFed Archives has adult language and violence and is not suitable for children. Listener discretion is advised. EastFed Archives is a Creative Typo entertainment production. If you enjoy this show, we invite you to support us on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Creative Typo. All levels of membership include ad-free listening, and our binge tier includes access to this complete season. Thank you for listening.
Chapter 15. Hunted.
Maybe it's time for us to speak about a different hidden.
Okay, who's next?
Your pick.
Well, we've already covered chroniclers, anomalies, guides, and shifters. What are my options?
You have the Dream Wraiths, the Shadow Reavers, the Bloodborne, the Hunter, and the dragons.
There are dragons? And you're just now telling me, Hastings? I thought we were friends.
I am sorry to disappoint you, but there are dragons no more. They have gone extinct.
Oh. Well, how?
I'm not certain.
Then why do you list them among the hidden?
Because they were once sentient creatures that lived in the world with us. It feels wrong to exclude them.
Well, honestly, Hastings, I am extremely disappointed. You know, you had me pretty excited to meet a dragon, and now you're telling me I can't?
I am sorry to disappoint you. The dragons are extinct, and the hunter has never been visually confirmed. They are unique cases among the hidden and are frequently excluded by chroniclers and guides.
But you personally don't exclude them?
No. I wish to meet them one day.
Meet them? You said dragons are extinct. How can you possibly hope to meet one?
They are extinct as far as we know, but I don't know how we know that. Maybe it is assumed based on research. Maybe they are hidden among the hidden. I have met every sentient on our world except the dragons and the hunter. I have a fantasy of beating the odds and meeting both.
Oh, that's kind of cute. I didn't realize you could have aspirations like that.
Are you teasing me?
No, I can understand your desire to find something unique. I wasn't expecting it, but I really admire it.
Thank you, Emily.
So, what will you do if you find a dragon?
I will ask it the one question that terrifies me more than any other.
A question that terrifies you?
Yes. What are they hiding from? If they are really extinct, then there is nothing to fear. But if they live, there is a reason for their absence.
Jesus, Hastings. You know, I don't mean to be unsupportive, but I hope you never find a dragon.
Sometimes I hope that as well.
Okay. Now that we've kinda covered the dragon, what about the hunter?
September slams the book he was reading close with an exasperated sigh. The air in the restricted archives was stale and reminded the guide of a tomb. For what seemed like the 100th time of the day, his thoughts wandered to Emily and Marcus, hoping that they were okay, and wondering what he could do to protect her. He had contemplated taking them to a property in a secluded part of Canada. They had enough money to support Emily and Marcus and keep them safe there. Then Hastings could monitor Emily and figure out if there was a way to keep her safe. He shoved those thoughts aside and reached for another book. Hastings had selected a stack of old journals that referenced anomalies. Most of the journal contents had nothing to do with anomalies, but occasionally there was a note regarding them.
I really would like you to stop doing that.
What?
slamming the books around as if they were enemies needing to be subdued.
I didn't damage the books. They're fine.
September, I know you mentioned that I should quit inquiring, but are you okay? You seem annoyed.
I'm annoyed. I'm exhausted. My head is getting foggy from reading through all these texts, and neither of us are finding anything at all. The journals are turning into a jumbled mess in my head.
I have never seen you struggle this much with research before. This is not like you. Is there anything I can do to help?
I don't know. I can't figure it out. I'm at a complete loss.
Maybe you should take a break. Leave the chronicling to the chronicler. No?
Maybe.
Why don't you go to the hospital and see if there is someone there that could use a guide?
The hospital is full of guides just like me, waiting for chroniclers just like you to finish doing their research. They have the hospital more than covered. If I went there, I would be accomplishing even less than I am here.
Oh, look at this. This is interesting.
What is it? What did you find?
Right here, there's a reference to the fact that anomalies can only see blue lines.
Okay.
We know that isn't true because of you-know-who and their ability to see other lines.
We already know that.
But isn't it nice to get confirmation that the archives, even the restricted ones, appear to be lacking important information?
Sure, Hastings.
I was simply attempting to make you feel better by showing you marks of progress that we have made.
I know, and thank you.
You're welcome.
Maybe you're right. I should take a break. I am not a chronicler, and I'm entitled to be overwhelmed by all of this research.
I said as much.
I'm a guide.
Yup.
A completely incapable guide. One that has absolutely no clue what to do with Emily.
Have you considered that she cannot be guided like others? Maybe you should stop trying so hard to guide her.
You know what? You're a genius.
I appreciate the compliment, but I am not certain that...
No, you are. Look, I've been spending all my energy focusing on Emily, and she is chaos. Maybe I can't guide her. We talked about it before, but I never really thought about it after. It feels like I can guide her, but maybe I can't.
Okay.
But I can guide you.
September.
September rose from the table and smiled down at Hastings. The guide inhaled deeply and then closed his eyes.
September, what are you trying to do?
Shut up. Let me focus.
September kept his eyes closed and stretched his arms out to the sides. He began walking down the aisle, touching every book as he moved along. After several minutes, the guide returned with eyes wide and a smile to match. He set 3 heavy texts down on the table in front of Hastings.
The whole reason guides are partnered with chroniclers is because we work so congruently. Better than any of the other sentients, hidden or human. I should have been focusing on guiding your studies rather than finding a way to protect Emily.
September, this is fantastic. What are these books?
I have no clue, but something tells me they're important. My intuition is screaming that there's something that we need from each one.
Strange.
What's that?
These texts are not about anomalies.
No, they are not about anomalies. Not really.
Chronicler Dean, I apologize. I did not see you enter.
The books are about the ancient hidden, before we were hidden. September, you're dismissed. Hastings, I should like to see you in my office.
Agents Natalie White and Victor Brown sat in their 2-bedroom New York City apartment eating a meal of Chinese takeout. The apartment reflected their minimalist lifestyle, with only the barest of necessities scattered throughout the living space. The duo had neither friends, family, nor employment in the city. They were currently stationed here and shared the apartment as roommates. They maintained a daily routine of chores and a nightly ritual of exercise and takeout food. The lifestyle was in no way glorious, but the pair knew their commitment was to a higher cause, the protection of humanity from the inhuman scourge. Natalie's cell phone rang. She checked the caller ID and read the word restricted across the screen.
This is Natalie.
Natalie, this is the operator. Is Victor with you?
Yes.
Are you in a secure location?
Yes.
Please place the mobile on speaker mode.
Done.
Good evening, Victor.
Operator.
I am activating both of you for another job. Are you properly functional?
We are.
What's the job?
We have had 2 agents go dark.
Which agents?
Agents Dubois and Blanc. They were following up on a lead in Montana and have gone silent. We believe that they have been eliminated and advise you to proceed with extreme caution.
Who is the target?
There are several at this time. An anomaly named Emily Swanson and her harbinger, Marcus Baker. Emily is a Caucasian female in her early 20s. A bit later for an anomaly, but we suspect some oddities with her. She has a pixie-style haircut and a Chicago accent. Marcus Baker is a Latino male with a scar on his left hand, shoulder-length hair, and a Chicago accent. They both are likely to stick out in rural Montana. I'm dropping their files in the secured channel.
Would you like us to recover them or eliminate them?
Recover if possible. If not possible, eliminate them. Do not take risks. We've already lost several agents and we do not wish to take any more casualties on our end.
Wow, that should be easy enough.
There are 2 other targets, the Chronicler Hastings and the Guide September.
You're joking, right?
I've been waiting for a stab at those 2.
This is not a game, Victor. Those 2 are dangerous.
Natalie is correct. Those 2 are very dangerous, and for some reason they have decided to collect an anomaly instead of eliminating her. We do not know their intentions.
Are September and Hastings still collection status, or can they be eliminated?
Eliminate them on sight. No more risks.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
Victor, enough.
There's more.
Please continue, operator.
There's a detective in Chicago that is linked to the group. Detective George Bullard of the Chicago Police Department. He has been asking some rather invasive questions. Find out what he knows, then eliminate him.
Consider it done.
There are also 2 close friends to the anomaly. Both Sam Wilson and Amber Lang reside in Chicago. They have not been confirmed harbingers, but just in case, bring them in if possible. If not, eliminate them.
Well, that's a busy schedule.
We will take care of it.
Flights have been booked for first thing tomorrow morning. You will fly into Chicago's O'Hare and first investigate Bullard, then Lang and Wilson. From there, you will continue on to Montana. Do you have all the resources required to complete these tasks?
Yes, operator.
Goodbye and good luck, Agents White and Brown.
Following the directions Marcus gave, Emily pulled her vehicle into a sketchy-looking motel. Marcus had known where to go, but not where they were going. Sometimes his visions were cryptic like that. Once the car was parked, Emily gave Marcus a once-over. He was bloodied in several places and held his chest as if it hurt to breathe. He had wrapped his t-shirt over his wounded leg and tied a poor attempt at a knot. Overall, he looked awful. Emily didn't know how to use her ISPET for most things, but she knew how to restore health to someone. Early on, she had a dream about an anomaly restoring health to a sickly landlord. Later, she used this ability to heal Marcus after their battle with Harp. The fight with Harp was hardly that. If the Contra Agent had wanted them dead, she would have killed them. Nonetheless, Emily had learned to use this one ability, and she used it well. After the fight with Harp, Emily and Marcus had practiced restoring and drawing the life force from Marcus. He had complained about the process, but relented, knowing that there may be a time when it could save someone's life. Emily was thankful for the practice. She reached over and placed her hand on Marcus's shoulder. She found it easier to move the life force from her well to target if they were touching. She could do it without touching, but this was no time to put out extra effort. She focused her will and pushed the life force into him. She could immediately see some of the color come back into his face. After she was finished, she leaned back in her seat and took a deep breath. She felt a little less alive. She didn't feel exhausted or drained, but she felt as if the world around her had lost a little of its color. She opened her car door and heard Marcus do the same.
What do you think you're doing?
Going inside with you.
Like hell you are. You look like shit.
You just healed me. I could feel it.
Yeah, so? It's not like I healed you back to full health. This isn't a video game.
Emily?
No. Your leg is still fucked up and you look like you've been hit by a small truck.
I'm fine.
No. You're trying to be macho and honestly it's annoying. Look, we're at a motel. There's likely going to be people around. Nothing bad is going to happen to me here. Why don't you put your window down a little bit and then you can just talk to me while I check out the room.
Fine.
I'll be right back. In and out.
Ooh, in and out of where?
Jesus Christ!
Nope, just Cricket. Sorry to disappoint.
Cricket, now's not really a good time.
You say that a lot.
Well, I mean it this time.
Emily, dreams don't really work like that. I'm literally asleep right now. I can't just force myself back away.
Well, try to be quiet then.
What's going on?
Nothing important.
Hey, that's rude.
I'll explain later.
So, what are we doing? Where are we going?
We are checking out this motel room, and before you ask why, I'm not sure. Marcus said he had a vision, and there's something I'm gonna find here.
Ah, so that's why you left the range.
No, we were attacked by something.
Attacked? By what?
I'm not sure. Some kind of monster.
I might be able to help if you tell me more. I do know a lot about your history, at least since your tap.
All right, 1 second. I think this is the room.
Was that door unlocked?
Yeah.
People were way more trusting back in your time.
No, they're not. This is strange. But let's see what's inside. Oh my God!
Holy hell! Are you okay? Do you need me in there?
I'm okay.
What do you see?
There's blood.
Lots of blood.
There's still luggage and belongings inside. It feels recent.
Look at the nightstands. There's a gun and some cash there.
So, whatever happened here, it wasn't for the money.
Wait, where are you going? You should check out that luggage, right? See if the thing you're looking for is in there?
I'm gonna check the bathroom first. I want to make sure no one else is here.
All right.
Jesus Christ!
God. Is this what you were supposed to find?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Can you close the door, please? I don't want to look at this anymore.
Yeah, me neither.
Wait.
What? What is it?
That body there.
Who is it?
I don't know, but I think I know what attacked you.
I'm closing this now.
Were you attacked by a grocery delivery person?
Yes. How did you know?
That doesn't matter. I know what's hunting you.
Hunting me?
Yes, hunting. It's a shifter.
Why is it hunting me?
I'm not sure.
It would be nice if you could give me more information on some of this shit. It's kind of important.
Hey, blame yourself. You're the one that has to tell me the things so that I could even possibly relay them back to you.
Why don't you tell me what you do know while I search through this luggage?
Well, I know it's probably working alone. Yeah, all accounts of shifter engagement always show them working solo. I think it's how they like to hunt.
It looks like those people in there were Contra agents, so I'd say it's safe to say the shifter isn't working with the Contra.
Yeah, probably not. Contra doesn't really like the hidden anyway. I doubt they'd employ one of us.
So, the shifters side with the chroniclers and guides? The ones that kill anomalies?
So from what I understand, shifters don't side with anyone. They operate on their own agenda. They have their own personal code that they stick to. It's different from shifter to shifter, but they treat that code like it's a personal religion.
I've heard some of this before, but what does it mean to you?
Well, for example, one shifter might decide that they were created to protect a specific forest from being destroyed, so they might haunt that forest as a weird creature that murders people who try to start fires. Another shifter might decide that it wants to collect rare gems, so it travels the world, finding and hiding different gems until it feels the collection is complete. Another shifter might decide that it needs to run a country, so it slaughters its way up a branch of government until it gains control. It's different for all of them.
So there's no way to know why this one is hunting me.
Maybe it hunts anomalies. Maybe you weren't supposed to be on that ranch. Maybe it just really hates former baristas. There could be a bunch of reasons. I'm sorry, but I don't know.
Do you at least know how to kill it?
There's a couple ways, but none of them are very easy.
Nothing ever is.
If you can completely burn it to ash, that'll do it. They're not super sensitive to fire, though, so you'll have to find a way to restrain the creature while it burns.
Doesn't seem likely.
Or you could rip it to pieces, like put it in a wood chipper or something. Really tear it apart so it can't put itself together again.
Gory, but logical, I guess.
You could shoot it into space?
Logan, come on, really?
Okay. For real though, there's a part of every shifter that controls the body. It's kind of like a brain, just not.
Okay.
It's a small patch of fungus-looking stuff. It spiderwebs out through the body of the shifter, like some kind of nervous system or something. Anyway, the core part of that fungus is hidden in the shifter's body somewhere. They can't move it, but it is in a different position for each shifter. So, if you can cut the shifter open, find that portion of its insides, and remove it from the rest of its body, then the shifter will die.
Damn. You weren't kidding. It's not easy.
Yeah, I tried to tell you. You're honestly much better off just trying to get away and hide. Maybe the shifter will stop hunting you.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, what's that?
It's a briefcase with files in it.
And?
There's a file in here about me. These were definitely Contra agents.
Is that what we're looking for?
Hold on.
Emily!
This second sheet of paper.
Emily!
Emily lifted her gaze from the open folder and began to shout a response to Marcus when she noticed the lines had spawned from every direction. An ISPED event was happening, and it felt big. She should have known an event would happen. Marcus knew about this place from a vision. He knew that she would find something there. And Emily should have realized much earlier that Marcus only had visions of ISPED events. Of course something would happen here. Panicked, she threw the folder back into the briefcase and latched the case closed. She ran over to the nightstand and grabbed the handgun, the cash, and the car keys, then shoved everything into her jacket's pocket. The earth began to shake and a large crash sounded from the parking lot. Outside, Marcus could feel the air shift. In his vision from earlier, he had seen a treasure chest surrounded by quicksand. Emily stood next to the treasure chest and traded a toy house made of popsicle sticks for something out of the chest. A wolf had charged forward and jumped directly into the quicksand. The vision had left a residual feeling after he woke. He knew where they needed to go, but not where they were going, or what would happen once they arrived. Now that the ISPED event had started, Marcus was terrified that he had made the wrong choice. The vision didn't seem extravagant, but the energy in the air reminded him of the ISPED event that took place at the police station. This one was just as dangerous as that had been. He called for Emily several times, but she wasn't coming. He could hear her talking to herself in the room, but couldn't make out what she was saying. With an agitated grunt, he pulled the door handle and leaned against the door to push it open. That's when something the size of a bear with wings slammed into the driver's side of the car and rolled him over twice. Emily saw Marcus in the car roll over and land upside down. The shifter was back and had taken a new form. The creature looked like a hideous fur-covered moth with bare arms and no head. It bounced off the car after impact and then flapped its wings, flying directly toward her. Emily could see the maroon line to the creature. She could also see the blue lines connected to the people in the motel. The lines connected the plants outside, and the one attached to the small critters that littered the area. She slammed the door just as the monster arrived. The door splintered inward, but didn't break enough for the creature to gain entry. Emily drew the weapon from her pocket, but hesitated. She had no inclination where to shoot. She traced the maroon line, pinpointing it to the specific section of the shifter.
Maybe that's where the fungus was hidden.
Even if it was, she had no idea how to get to it, and she was not a good enough marksman to hit that small of a target. The creature slammed into the door a second time, then reached its arm through to swipe around. One more attempt like that, and the door would give. Emily backed away from the entrance and looked around the room, searching for anything she could use to defend herself.
Nothing.
Blue lines danced along the floor. The lines only attached to inanimate objects if her ISPET was about to do something to them. She had an idea. The shifter pushed a final time and entered the motel room. Emily could now see clearly where the maroon line pinpointed.
The lower right side of the creature.
Just above where a hip would be if the creature were human. A wavering maroon line turned into a steady, attached marker. Emily raised the gun and took aim, but didn't fire. The creature stepped a second step into the room and began to crouch into a position that would allow it to pounce on her. Its wings folded in on the creature's back, and the creature had to pull the bear-like arms closer to its chest. Just as the creature was about to leap forward, Emily pulled the blue lines on the floor, and the flooring fell away into a subfloor. The earth shook again. The shifter lost its balance and sank into the flooring. Then Emily pulled the trigger. She may have not been a good marksman, but she didn't need to be. She was an anomaly, and she had the ability to send the bullet down a maroon ISPET line. The bullet followed her orders and struck home. The creature didn't cry out, but it hunched over in what seemed like pain. The lack of any noise from the shifter was unnerving to Emily. When something felt pain, it made noise.
This felt unnatural.
Emily took aim again, but waited for the creature to stop hunching so that she could get a clear shot. The opportunity never came. The earth shook again, and the flooring gave away into a pit. The shifter fell into the ground with floorboards following. Emily could see the entire building shake. She ran to the side of the motel room and edged her way around the hole in the floor. She tried to steal a glance at the creature below, but could see nothing. She didn't hang around to investigate. Instead, she turned and ran out of the motel with the briefcase in one hand and the gun in the other. Emily hurried into the parking lot and found Marcus crawling out of the open window of the car. His head was bleeding. He must have hit it when the car flipped over. She put the gun in her pocket and pulled the Contra Agent's car keys out. She beeped the unlock button and quickly found the rental that the keys belonged to. The earth was shaking more furiously now. Emily helped Marcus to his feet and placed his arm over her shoulder. She helped him limp across the parking lot and to the rental car. He assured her he could get in on his own, so she released him and rushed to the driver's side of the vehicle. As the engine roared to life, Emily looked back at the motel room and saw the shifter as it crawled out of the floor of the room. It had taken its faceless form again. Then the motel collapsed in on itself as it sank into a pit. A sinkhole had formed under the motel and had swallowed the building and all of its occupants whole. Emily watched in horror as the maroon line, along with over a dozen blue lines, sank into the earth. She contained her urge to vomit and shifted the vehicle from park to reverse. It wasn't until she was several miles down the road that she allowed herself to cry. Hastings is voiced by Adam Culbertson. Emily Swanson is voiced by Tisha Zang. September is voiced by Richard Collins. Chronicler Dean is voiced by Shamas Rodriguez. Detective George Bullard is voiced by Anthony Kinney. Agent Natalie is voiced by Sarah Callaham. Contra Operator is voiced by Helen Edgar. Victor is voiced by T Alexander Saxton. Marcus Baker is voiced by Nico Rodriguez. Cricket is voiced by Josh Allen and narrated by Michael Cole. ISFET Archives was written by Nico Rodriguez in collaboration with Tisha Zang. ISFET Archives is a Creative Typo Entertainment production. Find out more about our show at www.creativetypo.com.
A very special thank you to our executive producers from Patreon, Nick Mead and Patrick T. Arsenal.